A solar panel made out of old CDs? A quote-unquote free water filter that's basically magic? Sharpening your electric shaver with table salt? You've seen these videos. They have millions of views. But here's the ugly reality. Half of these channels are straight up lying to your face, and the other half are trying to send you to the emergency room. In this video, I'm going to show you which ones are total fakes and which ones are actually dangerous. And stick around for the end because I'm going to break down a free energy device that looks cool, but is actually a recipe for a chemical bomb right on your desk. Let's get into it. First up, the solar panel made of trash. The author promises free electricity using old CDs. Spoiler alert, you are going to waste 10 hours of your life to generate exactly 0 watts. Nada. It looks genius on camera. Copper wire, shiny discs reflecting light. It looks like something straight off the ISS. A masterpiece. And then, boom! The lamp turns on. It's blindingly bright. You think that's it, the system is hacked. Free energy, baby. Here's why this falls apart under basic physics. Let's break this down. How does a solar panel work? Semiconductors. Silicon. What is a CD made of? It's polycarbonate plastic and a thin layer of aluminum foil. That's not a solar cell, that's a shiny coaster. Photons of light do not knock electrons out of plastic. The output voltage is 0. Always. It's like trying to charge your iPhone with a potato. Visually, cool. Physically, impossible. That lamp in the video? It's running off a hidden battery. It's a classic con job. The guy making the video is making bank off ads. Meanwhile, some poor kid is going to waste his entire weekend building this garbage, hoping for free power. Okay, lying for likes is one thing, but this next guy is basically creating a petri dish for diseases. The DIY water filter. Why pay for a reverse osmosis system when you have trash lying around? They promise crystal clear water with no chemicals. At first glance, it looks like legit engineering. Layers of sand, charcoal, cotton wool. They open the tap and wow, clean water flows out instantly. But physics is screaming, don't drink that. Look, real biosand filters exist. They use them in developing nations and they work, but they need 3 critical conditions. First, depth. You need at least 20 inches of sand, not a handful in a soda bottle. Second, grain size. You need specific fine sand, around 0.15 millimeters. Random construction dirt doesn't work. Third, and most importantly, the biolayer. A colony of good bacteria has to grow on top. It takes months to cultivate. That's what actually eats the pathogens. Fresh sand is just a sieve for cigarette butts, gravel, and bacteria. And here's the kicker. A real filter should drip slowly. A liter should take minutes. In the video, it flows like a river. This isn't a filtration system. It's a bacteria cocktail. A proper factory filter costs like $10. Spending a week in the hospital with dysentery? That's gonna cost a lot more. Okay, we poisoned your stomach. Now let's ruin your face. Restore your electric shaver with salt and vinegar. The claim, eternal sharpness for pennies. The reality, you're going to strip the coating and rust the whole thing to hell. The video shows the razor buzzing in this liquid, the salt crunching. It sounds like it's grinding the blades, right? And then it shaves perfectly. Do not do this. Electric shavers usually stop cutting because of a buildup of oxidation in skin oils. Pros use a cleaning spray or just replace the head. If you want a cheap hack that actually works, toothpaste. It's a mild abrasive. It gently polishes off the oxidation. Rinse it and you're good. But salt? Salt crystals are relatively large, jagged particles. They scratch the cutting edge, and worse, they destroy the protective foil mesh. You are turning that smooth mesh into sandpaper. And the vinegar? That's acid. It eats the anti-rust plating. Even worse, the liquid gets inside. It dissolves the bearing grease and eats the rubber seals. Waterproof means water, not acid. You think you're saving money, but you're actually destroying a $150 shaver to save a couple of bucks. You know what really grinds my gears? These channels make a fortune and they know they are wrecking people's stuff or hurting them, but they don't care. And then I see comments like, wow, thanks, trying this today. Stop. Hit that like button if you are tired of being treated like an idiot. All right, let's move on to the shoe repair hack. Repairing a shoe sole with wire and melted CDs? This isn't a repair, it's a landmine in your sneaker. Here's what will actually happen. Your shoe sole flexes thousands of times a day. Steel wire? It has low fatigue resistance. It bends 50 times and then snap, it breaks. And now you have a sharp, rusty piece of steel driving straight into your heel. But the video sells you a fairy tale. They melt the CDs in acetone, make a goo, embed the wire like rebar. Looks strong, right? It's pure physics. The melted plastic dries hard and rigid. The rubber sole is flexible. Because of the difference in flexibility, it will delaminate immediately, or the wire will snap. A tube of proper shoe glue is like $2. Just buy the glue. After that disaster, we need to take a breath. How about a tool that makes manual labor 10 times easier? Installing a car spring on a dirt tamper. It bounces by itself. Genius! Perpetual motion. Except for one tiny detail. To compact soil, you need an inelastic collision. All the energy needs to go into the ground. A spring works as a damper. It absorbs the energy. You aren't compacting the dirt, you are just gently spanking it. And to make sure this hack works 100%, you should definitely wear flip-flops like the guy in the video. Also, welding spring steel. That steel is heat-treated. Welding it makes it brittle. You hit one rock, the weld snaps, and that spring becomes a projectile aimed at your shins. A practical conclusion, a heavy log works better, and it's free. This thing is just an accident waiting to happen. And finally, the saltwater battery made of pipes. Copper, aluminum, a saltwater mix, and the result? The lamp glows bright. This completely breaks basic electrochemistry. A galvanic couple, copper and aluminum and salt, gives you about 0.6 to 1 volt max. 3 pipes in series? That's 3 volts, maybe. So how does the lamp light up? It's an emergency bulb. These bulbs have a small battery inside them. When you complete the circuit, even with wet fingers, they turn on. The pipes are just theater props. Look, millions of people watch this stuff, and doctors around the world get plenty of extra work because of it. Don't let a pretty thumbnail turn off your brain. You all have that one friend who keeps sending us these genius life hacks. Do them a favor and send them this video. You might save their electronics or their fingers. Drop a comment below. What is the dumbest life hack you've ever actually tried? I'll pick the craziest one to test in the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss that. Stay safe, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next one.